So, greetings for the day. My name is Muhammad Ahmad Ali. So, we are going to start with our first session with reference to soft computing, and we are going to learn about the introduction to the soft computing and its implementation in the real world, how soft computing works, what is the difference between soft computing and hard computing. So, in this presentation, we are going to learn about the first unit, a part of the first unit, and in the coming sessions, we are going to complete our rest of the part of the unit. So, coming towards this presentation, now in the last session, I told you an overview of soft computing, what actually is soft computing. Now, in today's session, going to learn about in detail with reference to soft computing. Now, what is actually computing? What actually is computing? Computing means taking some input, processing it, and giving an output. It's called as computing. Whereas if you see over here x is an input, where y is used to store the result of the input, where this f of x is a function or a method which is taking the input and processing something onto it and giving an output as y. So this is what we call as computing. An input which is in process by f of x, and the result is being stored in y, and y is being given as an output. This is what you call as computing. This is actually called as computing. Now what is this f? This f can be any function, algorithm, or mapping function. It can be anything. Like for an example, I have given of something called as a value of x. I want to find the square root, or I want to find the cube root. I want to find the quadratic equation for that. It can be anything. So this f of x is a method or an algorithm or a mapping function which processes the input and gives an output as y. Now what is the expected outcome if at all we are processing something? We are expecting an outcome as a precise result. For an example, I have given a value, like I want to add two numbers, like 2 plus 2. What is the answer? The answer should be 4. It should not be 3.5, it should not be 3 and 4, it should not be 1 and 4, something like this. But the result should be a precise result. The result should come, or the outcome should be a very precise one. It should be accurate in itself. Then only the thing that we are doing is a successful computing. The thing that we have given is a successful computing. The second one is the answer should be the expected outcome should be an ambiguous value. It should not be an ambiguous. Like for an example, infinite is an ambiguous value. The outcome that should come outside after giving an input for processing should be unambiguous. And the last one and important thing is it should follow some mathematical method. It's not like a random value is being given, like if you don't, we are adding 5 and 2, the answer should be 7, but the answer is 99. There should not be any random value. It should follow some mathematical method which should have some procedure to follow, how that is being processed, how the input is being processed to get some particular output. So this is what we call as computing. Now coming towards types of computing, we have basically two types of computing. The first one is hard computing and the second one is soft computing. Hard computing can also be considered as artificial intelligence. Hard computing can also be considered as artificial intelligence, wherein you have some predefined methods, predefined algorithms, and predefined things which takes the input and which gives the particular output, That is what we call as hard computing. Now what hard computing tells about? Hard computing will always have precise results following some mathematical methods. It will have some precise results. Whereas in soft computing, I'll tell you, it will not have precise results. Now, what actually a precise result means? For an example, an algorithm is there to solve a problem of getting an output of desired result. For example, I want to get the output as 7. So what are the methods by which I can get the answer as 7? For example, 1 plus 6, 6 plus 1, 3 plus 4, or what you call as 4 plus 3. It can be any of the value, but the outcome will always be 7. It means for getting a desired result, you will be having some algorithms, you will be having some methods to be followed, which is being taken into hard computing, which means which has some precise results, Now coming towards the second point, it says will have controlled action with unambiguous values and formally been defined. Now what do you mean by this? This will have some controlled actions. Controlled action in the sense, if this is not the case, then what else? If this, else. If else. Something like this. If this is not the case, then this will be the answer. Or if this is not the answer, this will be the case. It means it has some controlled action and it has unambiguous values. Unambiguous values is very important, and whereas controlled action is very important to remember with reference to hard computing. Now, and also it has some formally defined in the sense it has an algorithm or it has some mathematical methods. Now this is all about hard computing. Now like we have learned about computing, also we have learned about hard computing. Now coming towards our actual topic, soft computing. What soft computing is all about? Now the term soft computing was proposed by the inventor of fuzzy logic, Lotfi-Ezadeh, and he states soft computing as a collection of methodologies that aims to exploit the tolerance of imprecision and uncertainty to achieve traceability, robustness, and low cost solution. Now what all are these words? Like this seems to be a very difficult thing, but this is very simple. Now what do you mean by this? Tolerance of imprecision, which means it will not have exact value, but it will show you the expected value. It will not show you the exact value, but it will show you the it will show you the expected value but not the exact value. Exact value in the sense, for instance, I have given a value for computing, but due to what we call as some mathematical things, I have got an output as 5. After some instance, I have got an output as 7. After some time, I have got the output as 9. It means the computing is not wrong, but as the computing is being given more inputs, it increases its knowledge and it gives some accurate responses with reference to the previous knowledge. And as well as with reference to the previous information that is been given to the computing or that is been given to the system. It means hard computing will give you the exact value, whereas soft computing will give you the expected values with reference to the previous values. In the sense, if you consider a value like addition of two numbers, always the number of outcome will differ. For example, first time I have given 1 plus 4, the output is 5. 1 plus 3, the output is 4. 1 plus 6, the output is 7. It means I am getting an output based on the input. For this information will be stored for next time information. Like for example, if I given this as an input, it will give you this as an output. So this is what we call as tolerance of implication, and the second one is uncertainty. Now what do you mean by uncertainty? Uncertainty means it will not be accurate always. It will always differ from computing to computing or input to input. It will always differ from one to another, second to third. As the inputs is being given increases, the traceability and the getting the output as an exact also increases. It means it will learn from the previous information. It will learn from the previous thing that is been given as an input. Now to achieve traceability, robustness and low cost solution. Now coming towards the next point, it states it is characterized by the use of inexact solution, computationally hard tasks such as the solution of non-parametric complex problem for which an exact solution can't be derived in polynomial of time. In the sense, if at all, if I ask you, in a small sense, if at all, if I ask you, like we are about to start with an IPL, if at all, at this instance, if at all ask you who is going to win the IPL title, we can guess with reference to the previous information, like as Chennai Super Kings has always been winning the competition, we can expect that Chennai Super Kings can win. But as the matches will proceed, the situation might get changed. The situation might get changed. Some other team can win that competition. It means as of now, considering the previous results, we can say this particular team can win. But as the actual matches will happen, then the situation can get changed. So this is all about soft computing. This is all about soft computing. Now coming towards soft computing constitutes, so like what is the principal things of soft computing? The first one is the fuzzy logic, the second one is the neurocomputing, and third one is probabilistic reasoning. Now what all are these things? For instance, like before going to all of these things, I'll tell you a small example. Like I have given you in the previous session also. Like consider a small child who cries for everything. Like if at all he wants a chocolate, he cries. If at all he is hungry, he cries. If at all he wants some of the things, he always cries. But as he grows, he will learn the things like how to ask for chocolate, how to ask for food, how to ask for some other thing. So as he is growing with the age, his knowledge is also getting improved. Now based on the previous knowledge, he is taking further actions. For instance, he wants to get a chocolate, so he will ask for the father, like I want to have a chocolate. If at all he wants the food, he will go for his mother or for her mother, then he will ask for the food. Now when he was a child, he used to ask everything for his mother. But as he has grown up, he knows like where to put the things and where not to put the things, where to ask for the things and where not to ask for the things. Same thing applies in soft computing also. Those things that is been learned, that is been done, is called as fuzzy logic, neurocomputing, and probabilistic reasoning. So this is what is called as like principal qualities or principal things with reference to soft computing. Now we are going to learn about what is fuzzy logic, neurocomputing, and probabilistic reasoning in the coming session in detail. But as of now, understand that soft computing is similar to like a human being which learns from the past and take action for the future. It predicts for the future. It might be correct or it may not be correct. Okay. Now this is a small diagram for understanding the areas and things for soft computing, the principal features of soft computing. Now coming for what do you mean by fuzzy logic, neural networks, and genetic algorithm or programming. Now what is fuzzy logic? Fuzzy logic means if this is the condition, then these are the rules. Okay. If at all from till date Chennai Super King was winning until this date, we consider that this season also will be won by Chennai Super Kings or Sunrisers Hyderabad. If at all when the matches are being conducted, then the team which was been expected to win the competition is losing the match, it means some other team will come into picture as the winning of the competition. Another example is like when you see a cricket match or a football match, there the prediction will be shown like which team is going to win with reference to the previous results and with reference to the performance in the match. So it depends on all on the present situation and as well as the previous knowledge. So that is what we call as fuzzy set or fuzzy logic. Now second thing is the neural network. Now what do you mean a neural network? Neural network will always adapt the information for taking the future decisions. For an example, as you start with your engineering, you didn't know anything about engineering. You studied something in first year, then you knew that you came across some of the concepts which were unaware or you were unaware of it, then you learned it, then you went into second year, you learned some more things. Now you are into third year, you know a lot about engineering, and you know like how to take the next decisions, how to study for engineering, and how to write the exams. Whereas when you were in intermediate or when you were in class 10th or SSC, you didn't know about engineering, like how to write the exams, how to study and all these things. Based on that particular things, you cannot judge the further things. But with reference to the previous things, you can predict the next things. Now that is what you call as neural networks. That is what you call as neural networks. Now the last one is the genetic algorithm for evolutionary computing, which means this is being used with reference to the previous statistics or previous things that is been done. Based on that, decisions will be taken and actions will be taken in the future. So these are the three main things of soft computing, the principal concepts of soft computing. Now coming towards the next slide, this picture shows what soft computing is all about. This shows what soft computing is all about. Now see over here, this A, it is A, this is also A, the outcome is A, this is A, the outcome is A, and this is also A, the outcome is A. It means at the first instance this is been taken as a knowledge, this is been taken as A. Second time when we write this type of A, this is also been considered as A. The neural network will learn from this, like this is been also set as A, this is also A, and this is also A. So this is a small prime example of what actually is soft computing, what actually soft computing constitute of, and all the things. You can consider one more example, like you have a lot of banks and you want to invest in some of the banks, or you want to see which bank offers the best of the interest rate, or which bank offer the best of the returns on your money. So you will see for different banks, but the outcome that it gives you is the best of the bank which gives you the best of the interest rate, or the which gives you the best of the price for that particular amount or particular business. This is what you call as soft computing. This is all about soft computing. Understood? Now coming towards the example how soft computing works. How soft computing works. Let me take an example of a doctor and a patient. An example of teacher and a student. An example of a research scholar. What this example says, when we consider an example of a doctor and a patient, when a patient comes to a doctor and says like this is my problem, I have this problem, so based on that particular problem the doctor writes a prescription and says take this medicine, hope it may help you. But in actual, that symptoms and the medicine that is prescribed, the medicine that is prescribed might match only 40% of the things what patient have said, or 60% of the things that patient have said, but still due to the symptoms that is been said, this medicine is been prescribed. For instance, a second patient comes with the same symptoms, along with that it has some more additional things, some additional more health issues, then same medication will not be prescribed, it will be prescribed with some another medication. So what we came across, based on the input and based on the things, the output may differ. The output may differ. Whereas if you consider in hard computing, the output will always be the same. If at all if you have symptoms like cough, like hard breathing, and some of the things, it is said as COVID. It means this, if at all these are the symptoms, it may have COVID. But what if at all if I am asymptomatic, like I don't have any of the symptoms of cough and all this things, but I may have a COVID type of a things. So this states the difference between an hard computing and soft computing. Now coming toward the second example of teacher and student model, wherein teacher will or a faculty will let you know about some information or some knowledge. For instance, consider you didn't know anything about soft computing before this lecture, but as you are attending this lecture now, you are knowing something about soft computing. After this session, you might speak something about soft computing to somewhere else, but before this session, you cannot speak about soft computing. So it means as the information is being asked and as the information is in process, your decision making also increases based on the previous things. So what teachers does, the teachers ask questions, give and guess and give some hints, and they demonstrate you for physical things. So this is how soft computing actually works for the things. And same example, consider as a research scholar or a research student. Before starting his or her research, he will not know anything about his research, only a blur idea of how things can be done. But when he starts studying with reference to subjects, getting into different papers, getting into different journals, getting into different type of field of study, he will come to know what actually is a research, how to do a research, how a research methodology is being done, and how different problem solving patterns is to be recognized and done. So this is what you call as soft computing, and this is all about soft computing. So what are the characteristics of neurophysics and soft computing, human expertise? These all are the things that is being used for soft computing, where this soft computing can be used to make a proper decisions. So these all are the things that is being characterized or characteristics for a soft computing. So this is all about soft computing. Now in the next session we are going to learn about the differences between the soft computing as well as hard computing. What are the major differences with reference to soft and hard computing? What are the major differences? How soft computing differ from hard computing, and how hard computing differs from soft? What are the upper hand and lower hand with reference to soft computing and hard computing? That's all for today. I hope you understood something from today's session. I hope all the best for all of you. If at all, if you have any doubt, you can get in touch with me with this. You can get in touch on me on this particular email address. So that's all for today. A nice time. Have a great day. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.